Boom! What's happening, people? We just finished the Arsenal versus Bayern Leverkusen Champions League last 16 game, the second leg. It was 1-1 from the first leg, and Arsenal then hosted Bayern Leverkusen at the Emirates Stadium, and they had nothing for the Arsenal. Arsenal just dominated this whole game. It was a fantastic display from both the defenders and the attackers and the midfielders. I mean, look, the midfielders ran their socks off. There isn't much to talk about in this game other than the goalkeeper for Bayern Leverkusen had the game of his life. I'm telling you guys, chance after chance after chance. On any other day, Arsenal would have won this game 4-0, 5-0 easily. Leverkusen didn't have many chances, maybe one or two. There was one chance towards the end of the second half where David Raya made a spectacular save. It was unbelievable, that save. One of his best saves he's ever made. We saw one earlier this season against Brighton towards the end of that game. It was very similar to that, and he took that one right out of the top drawer, guys. But before we talk about all of that, so it was a great first half. A great display by Arsenal, especially the defense. Although Leverkusen didn't have much, anytime they did come forward or close to our box, Piero Hincapié had an outstanding game. Both the central defenders, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, absolute wall at the back. They did not let anything get past them. They put their body on the line every single time. And Ben White had a fantastic game, absolutely fantastic at the back. The back four, they couldn't have played any better. They did not give Leverkusen any chance at all. Kofana, he didn't even see any of the goal at all, whatsoever. Now, the first half, the only thing I would say in the first half regarding Bayern Leverkusen is their goalkeeper. Now, their goalkeeper has probably had the best game of his career. I don't watch Bundesliga much, but I'm going to say this is probably one of the best displays he's ever showed in his career, because, my God, could this game have gone different? The first half, the first 40 minutes, Arsenal were having chance after chance after chance. I mean, at one point, the ball was trickling across the line of the goal and nobody could get a toe on it. And eventually the goalkeeper got it again. It was a great display by him. So, you got to tip your hat to the goalkeeper. I think his name is Blaswich. So Blaswich for Leverkusen. For me, if Leverkusen needed a man of the match, it would have to go to the goalkeeper, because he had an impressive display between the sticks. I mean, like I said, chance after chance after chance. I mean, the Arsenal players couldn't believe it. I mean, one of these balls had to go in. Pause. But towards the end of the first half, I believe around maybe the 39th, 40th minute, there he was, Eberechi Eze, with a fantastic strike, a worldie, a thunderbolt, a rocket, and that one the goalkeeper could not save. Fortunately for us, that one the goalkeeper couldn't save, although he still jumped for it, but that was just a goal right out of the top drawer, guys, right out of the top drawer. Fantastic. Now, that's how the game in the first half ended. It was 1-0 for the Arsenal. Like I said, many chances we created. Saka had chances. Trossard had chances. Declan Rice had chances. Many we created as well. And the back four were just solid. I mean, they had a fantastic game. Piero Hincapié, my God, is he a good player? I'm so happy that he's at Arsenal and not Leverkusen. I mean, that would have been a player that would have been played against us tonight had he not been on loan from Leverkusen at Arsenal. The fact that he's allowed to play against his parent team is, again, fantastic, because he had a great match, guys. He put his body on the line many a times, made many blocks, and carried the ball forward many times as well. And obviously, Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba, as usual, these two are the generals of the back four, the generals of the Arsenal. They will not let nothing get past them. And again, also put their body on the line. And Ben White coming in for Jurriën Timber. I mean, can you believe how lucky we are that we have a player like Jurriën Timber, but then he goes out injured, and then we get Ben White, who's an incredible player, to come in and fill his role. I mean, how lucky are we this season to have a plethora of talent to pick from and have so many players in one position to cover each other. It's just unbelievable, guys. So Ben White had a fantastic game. So the first half finished 1-0 to the Arsenal, and the second half started off a little bit slow. However, Leverkusen at this point had to push forward. They had to play the high line because, they had to try and get a goal back. That left plenty of gaps, plenty of space for Arsenal to run in. Again, the goalkeeper for Leverkusen had an unbelievable display in the second half. Same as in the first half. I mean, chance after chance after chance. I mean, I don't know how he was saving these shots and these chances from the Arsenal. But again, halfway through the first half, there was plenty of space for the Arsenal players to run in. Declan Rice at one point got the ball played into his feet. He ran 2-3 steps forward. You can literally see what was on his mind. He had no other thought but to pull the trigger and take the shot. And my God, did he take that shot. It curled. I mean, if you watch that goal, it literally curls again, similar to that free kick against Real Madrid. But this time it was on the floor and it just bends out and comes back in and hits the inside of the post and goes in. I mean, I don't think anybody noticed that it actually skimmed. I wouldn't even say hit because it would have bounced in, but it skimmed the inside of the post and went in. It was just a beautiful, beautiful shot, guys. Declan Rice. And now speaking about Declan Rice, I must say Declan Rice for me had to be the man of the match. Has to be the man of the match. I don't know who TNT and the other broadcasters chose as man of the match, but for me, if I had to pick someone, it has to be Declan Rice. This man was everywhere. I call him 10 men Rice. That's for two reasons. One, because he's literally like 10 men on the pitch. He's everywhere. You look on the right, he's there. On the left, he's there, helping his defense. At one point, there was a corner for the Arsenal. He was there, up there for the corner. Then, before it even got cleared by Leverkusen, he was already right by Raya in front of the box in case they come forward and try to counter-attack. He was there to deal with that as well. I mean, he's unbelievable, guys. Honestly, Declan Rice, the general. I mean, I would love to see him as the captain for Arsenal and for England. I know Saka's our captain. I know Odegaard's our captain. But I'd love to one day see Declan Rice as the captain because he's already filling in that role without the armband. Regardless of who's wearing the armband, he is captain-esque, definitely on the pitch. I mean, he was everywhere, guys. Again, that's why I call him 10 men Rice. He's 10 men on the pitch, plus there's a brand of rice called 10 men. So, that's why I call him 10 men Rice. So, yeah, Declan Rice for me was man of the match, sorry. Unbelievable display by him. It couldn't get any better. So yeah, hats off to Declan Rice, and many years hopefully we get to see displays like that from him. So Eberechi Eze gets a goal in the first half. Declan Rice gets a goal in the second half. There were plenty of opportunities to get a third and a fourth goal. Gyökeres had an opportunity at one point. Saka did. Piero Hincapié as well. Unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition. But we ended up winning 2-0 regardless. So it was a fantastic display by Arsenal, both defensively and offensively. And I hope that we can take that to the next round where we play Sporting Lisbon. Now, the funny thing is, we had Kai Havertz, who was facing his former team or his boyhood team. When I say boyhood, the club that he started off with. He scored against them in the first leg, and then he came on in the second leg through the second half. Didn't manage to get a goal, but he had a good display. So the reason why I say that, because in the next round, we're going to play Sporting Lisbon. And guess where we bought Victor Gyökeres from? That's right, Sporting Lisbon. So another one of our players facing his former team. And that's also Hincapié in this game as well. Sorry, Hincapié playing his parent club. So we have a few of our players now that are coming to the end of the end stages or the last games of the Champions League, the quarterfinals and all, and this last 16 round, where they're facing their old club. Victor Gyökeres is going to play Sporting Lisbon, the club we bought him from. So let's hope that's the game where he's going to show us what he can do in the Champions League. Because I remember when he played for Sporting Lisbon against Manchester City, I believe he got his hat-trick. That's the only ever hat-trick I've seen Gyökeres score. I'm hoping he can score a hat-trick for the Arsenal. And yeah, he's going to face his club, his former club that we bought him from. And that will be in the quarterfinals. Now, quickly before I go, guys, because there's not much to say. It was a great display by the Arsenal. Fortunately, Leverkusen just didn't have enough. This team got ripped apart from the team that won the Bundesliga a couple of years ago. Many of those players have gone. I believe they bought like 14 new players. It's a similar story to Sunderland, except for obviously they're in Germany and they're a slightly bigger club. Well, saying that Sunderland is a big club as well. They're probably about the same size, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was an overhaul for them. And they have a new manager as well that came in right after Eric Ten Hag, and Eric Ten Hag only had like a couple of weeks there before he got sacked. So Casper Hjulmand came in, and he didn't do too bad, to be honest with you. In the first leg, they played quite well, and even in this game, they didn't do too bad. They just didn't have enough guys, and I genuinely believe that this game could have actually finished 4-5-0 if it wasn't for their goalkeeper. Now, before I go quickly, I just want to do the player ratings. Let's start with David Raya. And I said this during my stream as well, but I'll be honest with you, other than the substitutes and maybe Trossard, I don't feel like anybody had a below 8 display. So I'm going to start with David Raya, 9. Absolutely fantastic. Didn't give them any chances whatsoever. Any shots, any headers, anything they did, he was covering, he was there. He wouldn't have allowed it to go in, and that stop towards the end of the second half, towards the end of the game, was just unbelievable. Out of the world, guys. Out of this world, I should say, sorry. So David Raya, 9. Saliba and Gabriel, both 9, as usual. Ben White gets an 8, and Piero Hincapié gets a 9. So from the back four and the goalkeeper, only Ben White I'll give it 8, and that's only because he probably did less than everyone else, but he came in as a filling role for Jurrien Timber, so he might have had a little bit of rustiness still on him, a couple of bad passes, a couple of bad touches, but his overall display was good, so I'd give him an 8. So David Raya, 9, Hincapié, Saliba, Gabriel, 9, and Ben White, 8. Now, if we go into midfield, Zubimendi would get an 8 from me, Declan Rice, 9, obviously. I would give him a 10, but that's probably... I mean, I'll give him a 9.5 because 10 is probably pushing it. But to me, it was a 10 out of 10 display. But to be realistic, people will say I'm just being, showing favoritism. I'm going to say 9 for Declan Rice. So 8 for Zubimendi, 9 for Declan Rice. Eberechi Eze gets a 9. He had a fantastic game. He was all over the place as well. He had the opportunity to score a couple of more times. He should have released the ball once or twice, but he wanted to, test himself and take some more shots that got blocked. So he does get a 9. Saka gets an 8 from me. A couple of loose balls, a couple of missed touches, bad touches. But a couple of times got caught in possession as well. So he gets an 8 because his overall display was quite good. Leandro Trossard gets a 7, guys. I think he's the only one from the starters that I'd say that got a below 8 him, and then obviously the subs that came on because they didn't have enough time to display more. But Trossard, from all the starters, he's the only one that got something below 8 from me. So I'd say Trossard got a 7, and he did get substituted eventually during the second half. He was the first to get subbed off. So Trossard gets an 8. So that's Eberechi Eze 9, Saka 8, and Trossard 7, guys. And then Gyökeres for me as well. To be honest with you, I'm going to give him an 8, although really and truly should be a 7, but I'm going to give him an 8 because some of his hold-up play was fantastic. Some of his runs were fantastic, and that did create space for other players because he drew defenders away from the other players like Eberechi Eze. So he does deserve, for all the running that he did, he does deserve an 8. But, if you just count it on his striking display, it'll probably be a 7. But I'm going to give him an 8 because of everything else that he did. So that's everyone else. That's everyone that started the game. Havertz, when he came on, obviously didn't have enough time to do anything. I'll give him a 7. Miles Lewis-Skelly, I mean, it was 2 minutes. You can't even really rate that. Who else came on? Mosquera, I'd say he'll get a 7 as well because he didn't have much time. I would have given him an 8 because he did show great confidence and comfortability filling that role for Ben White because he went at right back rather than centre back. But a couple of bad touches and loose balls as well. So he gets a 7. Who else? Am I forgetting anyone? So, Martinelli as well, 7. So all the substitutes really and truly, because they didn't have much time, I'd give them a 7 anyway. You can't really give them an 8 or a 9. They just didn't have enough time. But they didn't put in a bad shift. Everyone put in a great shift for the Arsenal today. So everybody gets a round of applause from me. Well done. Well done, boys. Thank you very much. So off to the quarterfinal for Arsenal. Again, like I said, we're facing Sporting Lisbon. Now, Sporting Lisbon had an absolutely fantastic display today against Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt had a 3-0 lead from the first game. Everybody thought that they might carry on their fairy tale, their Cinderella story to the quarterfinals to play Arsenal. That would have been a great day for them to face a big European club like Arsenal, but it was never meant to be, unfortunately, because Sporting Lisbon came back and played them off the park at home. I mean, it was 3-0 by, I don't know, the 60th minute or something, whatever it was, and then they got 2 goals in extra time. So the game went to extra time. They got 3 goals back to take it to extra time, and then within the first minute of extra time, they got a goal to make it 4-0. And then towards the end of extra time, they got another goal. So they ended up winning 5-0 at home. So that shows you that Sporting Lisbon will be very difficult to beat in Portugal. So Arsenal are going to have to be at their best when they go over there. And then obviously at home, we're going to have to do what we always do and keep a clean sheet and just, try and push ourselves into the semi-finals like we did last year, guys. And that's it. So that's the game review, and then obviously the player ratings. I hope you guys enjoyed. For everyone that joined my stream, that saw it today, that subscribed, that liked, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate that. The Armament Factories community is growing day by day, and it's all organic. So everybody that joins us, I hope you're joining us because you enjoy the value of the entertainment and the value of the streaming and everything else, guys. So I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate the help. I love you all. Thank you for joining us, and boom!